Hello and welcome back to Bevo's Tech Pack episode number 34. I'm R28 and this episode is not late for a change. Anyway, so after that little mini episode I put out the other day trying to figure out some of the latency issues I've been having on the server, we are currently back on my server, which we can tell by looking at that. What I have done is, for now, rather than tear out all the mechanism stuff, I've instead gone through the configs, and I have tried to adjust my graphical settings as well as change something in the mechanism configs. There is an option to use fancy, universal cable render. I turn that off for now. Right at the moment, my frames are holding at they're not really holding. They're flopping between 20 and 53. So it's not ideal. I may end up just pulling them out later, but for now I'm going to see if we can get something that's somewhat decent. When this video goes out, it's only going to be at 30 frames a second, so it might not be too terribly noticeable, so we'll see what goes. Yeah, speaking of 30 frames, even if this had the ability to stay at a nice even 60, I don't think I would put this out at 60. In general, from everything that I've seen from watching YouTube videos and stuff, the 60 frame switch to Minecraft is not that important. Most of what I've seen and most of what I know and what I kind of feel is that for say Minecraft, the game itself is not exactly what you would call, it is demanding for the system, but it's not exactly a pretty game. It can have some really awesome structures and stuff, but it doesn't do it by the way that you would want to see have in kind of a more fluid environment. Yeah, I'm putting my foot in my mouth here. Suffice to say, I think audio is more important for Minecraft than video. Though video is important to have at least a decent level, I don't think you need 60 frames. Anyway, so after that little mini rant, what we're doing today we're getting back to basics. I've been having some issues with the power stuff here, so what I want to do is I want to actually get away from some of the more power heavy stuff that I've been doing and try to get some alternatives. And in that sense, we are going back to basics, to something that I wanted to not use because I've used it all the time, and I realize now that was stupid. So what we're going to do, we're going to go all the way up to, I think it's the 3rd floor here, and I have a smeltery set up here making smelteries. This is just basically a little igneous extruder pushing cobblestone into the smeltery, which gets melted down into the seared stone, which gets pushed all the way over here to the casting basin and then up into the barrel. It's a really easy, neat, compact system, and it will make itself. Like this stuff right here, I made it with the smeltery. I got tired of waiting though for it because it was so slow, so I went out hunting for some gravel and clay and stuff to finish it off. It's pretty good. I'm actually considering just taking it all the way to the ceiling. This is doing good though. The only problem with it is it's going to take time. We are getting close to having enough to make another smeltery though, which is fantastic. What I am planning on doing is we're going to be using smelteries to process my ore, since the IC2 stuff is a little bit too finicky, and this would be easier than going through sorting it. I could just dump my various bits of metals into smelteries to have them processed, and then take the resulted items out and either store it in ingot form, block form, or if I'm feeling adventurous, I could try storing it as a fluid using extra cells. I have to be honest, the idea of using extra cells is kind of appealing to me. Let's see. I'm not quite sure how useful it would be, but I mean, I want to try, I think. The general idea, though, is we're just basically going to have 2 other smelteries set up, and the way that I want to do this, I'm going to need to do at least 2, mainly because I want to avoid creating alloys inadvertently. So I don't want to mix ferrous and I don't want to mix iron in the same smeltery because it will make Invar and I will have no iron, which is bad. I'll have no ferrous, which is not bad. And I don't want to mix gold and silver because I'd end up with electrum, which is bad. So I need at least 2, so I can have the, say, iron and gold in one, and then the ferrous and silver in the other. If we had metallurgy, I'd probably want to put it together so that it's iron and silver, and then gold and ferrous. And basically what we're going to have is we're going to move the dimensional transceiver we have down in the basement up to here, and then we're going to filter out all of the smeltable ores are going to go into smelteries. Everything that cannot be smelted is going to be going into probably a, I was going to say a sag mill, but I mean, the sag mill's, it's a little slow. I think we might repurpose a factory or two that I had from Mechanism, because if we just need to crush stuff, it's fine. And then the things like the gems from Biomes of Plenty and stuff, I might actually just trash can those, because I have no need for them. They are filler at this point. I mean, unless I can... Wait. Mine Factor Reloaded has a block specifically that would take care of that, doesn't it? It's got a... Oddly enough, I think it's a block breaker or a smasher. Let's go check out something real quick. And I do have a ton of liquid XP at the moment. Well, mob essence, rather. What is it? Is it smasher? Block smasher. I might actually be able to make that now. So I just need the factory machine block. Alright. So this thing right here might be the answer to my problems. So it does take XP. I wonder if it takes XP if you don't have it set up to use Fortune. Because if it's not going to use Fortune, we're good. Let's see, I want Tanzanite. So if this doesn't use XP when it's at Fortune 0, we're good. Okay, that works great, actually. And then it kicks over using the mob essence when you get to Fortune. In which case, I can then have like diamonds and quartz and stuff routed through at one of these guys that's set to use. Okay, so yeah, we'll do that. I just want to avoid putting the... by using the block smasher, I avoid the accidental problem of running all of my Certus quartz into dust. Because I do need to keep some as crystals if I want to charge any. And I've already made that mistake. I have Certus quartz for years at the moment. Let's go ahead and see what we have in here. Certus. So yeah, 162. This was all originally crystals, and they got processed incorrectly. I'd rather not redo that. But what I need to do, we need to go ahead and let that smeltery up there cook up some stuff. We need quite a bit more of the seared stone. So I'm going to go ahead and get some other stuff together, and I will join back up when it's time to start putting together the rest of the smelteries and the block smashing setup. Alright, so for part of my plan, I'm going to need a ready available source of mob essence, and I would rather not have to pipe it, load the nether, and pipe stuff in that way. I'd rather not do that. So what I'm thinking, let's say hi to the village that I have not abandoned, even though it's not technically a village, it's got one house. So let's ignore that. What we're here for, though, there are plenty of areas with spawners and stuff around here, and we are going to pillage them. Specifically, we're going to go look for a hollow hill and see what we can find. I don't particularly care what it is that we get, because really it's just going to be spawned to die. And we're, well, I'm going to try something new with some of that cursed earth I got. I've never actually tried if this works before, but I've been told that if you put cursed earth onto a spawner, it will force the spawner to spawn even if a player's not there, which is fantastic, and it doesn't cost any power, which is even better than fantastic. And hopefully I can use the cardboard box here to move this stuff. Alright, so we got a hill here. It's a really tiny one, so I don't think I'll go for that one. We don't want to go to the Dark Forest. Okay, let's go ahead and pull up a map. Map? Really? What did I remap map to? There we go. I think at some point I got rid of the minimap I was using. I think I was using MapWriter. Because this is not MapWriter. If I go north, I should hit my house. You know, there's a small chance there might be some stuff inside these trees. I never check these out, because these might be a leaf dungeon. If we hear spiders near here, there's spawners. They're usually inside the bundles of leaves near the top, or... Yeah, I'm not hearing anything. Oh, 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 oh. I heard something. In here? Are you in here, Precious? You are. Great, let's see if this works. I am perfectly fine killing spiders for XP. Robust twilight oak sapling, sickly, firefly, let's get rid. I don't have space for this junk, okay. Now how do I get you back without losing the... Oh, fantastic. Alright, let's go. We are good. And now we just want to go back to the overworld. And let's get down quicker. Oh, I really have to set up a system to turn this portal off. That's wasting a lot of power. Why can't I... Alright, so that is a slight problem. Let's try this again without appearing on the wrong side. I think it was the hover mode was doing some weird stuff with just zoning in. Alright, let's come on up. Alright, so we've got a good amount of seared stone here. It's got 84. That's pretty nice. It's more than enough to get started. What else we'll need in here is we actually need a little bit of a mob farm. And we're going to be doing that for the mob essence, which I've already mentioned, and I'm repeating myself, and I'm sorry. We're going to be using the spider spawner we just got, the cursed earth, which I do not have on me because I am an idiot, and the some grinders here. Now the workable area for a grinder is 5 by 5. The workable area for a spawner I think is like 7 by 7. So I either need to use one grinder that I'm going to funnel everything to, or I can use 2 grinders and funnel it equally, which should help a little bit, I think. I hope it does anyway. And I also need to make sure that when I set this up that the spiders don't spawn in either the crawl space or outside, so it's got to be a decent amount of space away from the wall. I'm probably going to do it in the corner just so that I know that it's relatively safe. I could also just make a corner here, just fill it full of cursed earth and let it go. You know, that would have been a lot easier, actually. Oh, I am not a bright person at times. I really am not. Yep, so glad nobody told me that. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the working area. Okay, grinder, space, space. Grinder, space, space. So yeah, no, we're going to totally ignore the need for conveyors and for the spawner and stuff. I'll use that for something else. Let's however put this on the right side. So that's good. We're going to go ahead and make this take up... I want to have 2 tall windows around it. T-W-O, not a T-O-O. Alright, so we have that. And then let's go ahead and... I think I have enough to do this. Alright, just... there we go. There are times I really truly do hate the ability for that thing to hover, but I cannot deny that it is useful at times. And then we have some dark glass here so that we don't accidentally illuminate that area. Alright, so far so good. The only reason we still stay in there, of course, is because of the torch. Alright, so we have our little mob spawning chamber set up here. Everything inside of here is in range of these 2 grinders, so I just need to hook them up. The XP that we're going to get from this, the mob essence, is going to be funneled into some of these. Where they go? Block smashers. Smash, smash. We're going to have just a regular plain one for the biome spawning stuff. And then we're going to have one for the, where'd it go? Inventory tweaks. There we go. So, mundane stuff that we don't need to use fortune on, and then stuff we want to use fortune on. Real simple. What I need to do, though, is I need to go ahead and create quite a bit more in the way of... Oh, they're agitated. I need to create quite a bit more in the way of, like, the fluid conduits, the pressurized conduit. Right now, what I have is the stuff that is... It responds to gravity, so if I pump the stuff down, I can't pump it back up into the machine, so that's not going to work. Okay, so things are shaping up pretty nice in here so far. My little spawner thing's over here doing great. Right now, I'm actually just dumping everything into trash cans just because I really don't need the items. I need the mob essence. At a later point, I might come through here again and set up a filtering on this so I can get just the items I need, because, I mean, getting the bones wouldn't be bad, nor would be getting, say, any gunpowder or whatever, but, I mean, I don't need zombie flesh, I don't need string. So, I mean, this is going to work for me now. We have a row of these block smashers set up. I realized that if I try to push it all through just like 1 or 2, that I'd get a rather nasty bottleneck. The mining laser, it's not terribly fast, but it is fast enough that one of these guys by themselves might not quite be enough, especially if the server's left running. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down based on the types of ore. Like for, say, redstone is really common. It'll go by itself. Can I shift right click on that? Okay, and what I want to do is put that on there. Let's say click a box or tab. There we go. And basically we're just going to use the sign here to show that, hey, this is redstone ore. There we go, so redstone's going to go in this one. To get this to work right, we need to actually edit this thing right here. Let's do a right click. This actually needs to be set to insert, and we are going to filter this. And it is only going to take redstone ore. Alright, so everything redstone will go into that chest. Except for the silver, which wound up in there for some reason. Is there anything else in these chests? No, that's good. And nothing in... Oh! See, this is why you don't hook this stuff up without paying attention. Yeah, that was bad. I'll fix that later. I totally forgot that thing was running, and it was hooked up already. Alright, so we're going to have the redstone in here. This is going to act as a buffer. And then we are also going to extract from this. Not on green, because green is the input for everything. Red is the final destination. Red will take you back to the ME system. Brown is the smeltery, blue is the smeltery, so purple. So it will extract out purple and insert green. There you go. And to this, we want it to extract red, but we want it to insert purple. And I totally passed purple. There we go. And then we need to make sure this is set to in-out. And we also need to make sure that the extract is not set to require redstone. Oh, that's fantastic. Alright, so as soon as we get power running to this, this should actually start doing its little thing with making noise and smashing blocks. For redstone, I'm not going to fortune it. I'm going to get more than enough, and it's not really a terribly rare resource. I'm going to reserve fortune for stuff like quartz and for diamonds. Lapis, I might do, say, like fortune 2, maybe fortune 1, because I don't need a ton of it. And luckily we can actually just run our power straight over here. Oops. Alright, and that should start breaking, and then it gets extracted. And now that should be going straight into our ME system we have in the basement, which is great. And I am basically going to be doing this for my entire little system here. And I'm definitely going to need to make more energy conduits. Luckily they're not expensive, I'm just lazy. Alright, so we're going to need at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more. Let's make up a batch of 16 or so. That should be fine. Alright, so we got redstone being taken care of. Oh, and while we're at it, let's come over here. This is green. You want to make sure that this is set for a filter for insert. And it's going to be whitelist. So right now it shouldn't take anything else new. And then insert is going to also be a whitelist. There we go. So this one's just going to have a little bit of messed up gems in it. I think I get slightly better by going with emeralds being fortuned rather than melted. I'm honestly not too terribly sure about that. Alright, so we got redstone. Next up is going to be lapis and silicon, which is this one right here. So it's going to be for insert, whitelist, lapis, and that's cool. That is silicon. Alright, and then it is going to extract. I keep clicking the wrong way. It's going to extract cyan, active without signal. And then insert cyan. And I have to make sure I put it back to the in-out. In-out. Alright, so that should be good. Stop that. Yeah, going back to the in-out is crucial for this to work. If I don't do that, it's not going to work at all. But this thing is it's working like a champ, smashing up all of this ore, so that's great. Let's go ahead and put the lapis and the, where'd it go? Silicon in there. Yeah, I definitely don't need a fortune in the lapis. We have quartz, certus, and nether. I actually don't have any of that stuff to smash up quite yet, so I need to, I'll put that one off to later. Excuse me. Diamonds and emeralds. We have emeralds and we have diamonds, so we are good for that. Ah, right click. There we go. Okay, insert. That green, that's good. It's only going to take diamonds and emeralds, since we are not going to have a ton of those. It's going to extract to light gray, always, and we need to put it back to in-out. Okay, so that's good. Insert is going to be light gray and in-out. Oh, did I tell it to extract without signal? I did. Okay. So we're going good. I'm going to go ahead and finish setting all this stuff up, and I will join back up once we have something that's a little bit better functioning. Alright. I also need to run the fluid conduit for this. We have all of the smashers set up. I think the only thing that I am missing is, let's check down here. For some reason I still have the tin and copper in here as well as aluminum. I'm noticing, however, this is all the industrial craft or the... I don't think there's a recipe for molten aluminum, actually. I think the filters I use don't support ore dictionary, which means I need to upgrade for the advanced ones, which is going to require... No, there is... Of course there's aluminum. There's tinkers. It's a natural material for tinkers. Okay, that was a stupid comment. Let's move on. Anyway, so I think I need to get the actual advanced item filters, but if I do that, I only need 2, so it's not too terrible. Let's check this out real quick. It's the hopper of the blue right here. There we go. Which is just a Z-Logic controller, paper, and a redstone, so it's not too terribly bad. The worst of it is that it takes zombie heads, and I've got maybe 5. So I should still be fine. It is no big problem. Other than that, things are doing pretty good in here so far. I mean, we've got stuff cooking up. This is mostly lead at the moment. I've yet to determine how I want to take care of this stuff. In terms of, like, say, storage. I was originally leaning fairly heavily to just storing it as a liquid, but I'm not sure if that's actually practical. And there is a part of me that says, F practicality, it would be cool. And I gotta tell you, I'm honestly really tempted to follow that. Anyway, though, I think that's actually going to be next episode. This is getting a little bit long, and it's going to take a lot more of a setup to get that going right than it took to get all this stuff going right. And I really do like the use of the, the fancy signs here. If you wanted to, you could have text on it, but I just like it for the customizable ability to change the size of what you put on here. So at a glance, you can tell it's redstone, this is lapis, and something that looks like coal, but it's not coal. You have emeralds and diamonds. That's cool. This is the biomes of plenty gems. We have sulfur, saltpeter, and I believe firestone's actually in here. We have apatite and cheese, just because of the puns. And then we have quartz. So this is all going pretty freaking good so far. And from what I've seen, I actually do end up with a little bit of a surplus of mob essence, just because of the speed that the miner runs at currently, since I have it throttled back quite a bit in terms of energy use. So this is good. So if I ever get a better power thing for it, I can definitely process stuff a lot faster than I am now. Let's see. Yeah, and this thing is getting pretty full. I wonder if they ever fixed the bug where you'd have the materials overflowing. I think they did, because this should have ticked over by now. And it's not beyond the top of the smeltery, so that's pretty good. But yeah, we see we have a ton of silver, tin, a little bit of platinum, some iron. And this one's all lead. I don't think you can melt mana infused ore. I think maybe if we had extra tinkers, maybe? But I think that would only work if you actually had metallurgy as well. Anyway, I want to go ahead and thank you for watching this episode of Bevo's Tech Pack. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave a message in the comments below. Or if you have any ideas how this might be made a little bit fancier, I would appreciate that. Anyway, as always, have a good night, and I'll see you next time.